Welcome back to the S&T podcast. This is your man Say. I'm here with my boy Tom, and today we're talking about a very exciting NFL matchup this coming weekend. We have the Los Angeles Rams coming in at an 8-2 record. Yes, quietly just winning games each and every week. Matthew Stafford is playing out of his mind right now. 38, 39 years old, whatever he is, old, playing like an MVP right now. So shout out to them. And then they're hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We've talked about Baker Mayfield in the past couple weeks already in length, so don't need to go too much into depth about them. But they're coming off two losses because they lost both of those games that we talked about to the Patriots and then the Bills last week. So they're kind of reeling right now, but they're still playing very well. So they're playing well, just coming up short in those games. But they come up against another very good team right now. So hopefully they don't lose three in a row, but looking to bounce back in this matchup right here. Tom, take it away.
Yeah, good intro there. Looking at the Rams to start, like you said, Matthew Stafford just playing like Matthew Stafford, really. It's not like, I was gonna say playing out of his mind, but we've seen him play like this before. I guess it's just kind of crazier to see somebody still at his age doing it. So you look at A-Rod and you're like, ooh, A-Rod, A-Rod looks a little rusty. Like you can tell A-Rod is not the same A-Rod that he was. But Matthew Stafford looks relatively the same as even when he was on the Lions. So I'm sure he's enjoying LA, being in LA now instead of Detroit. But good for Matt Stafford. He was long overdue. He's probably probably the most deserving quarterback in history of this because I mean he came into a dumpster fire in Detroit, and basically Detroit never gave him and Calvin Johnson anybody else. They didn't give him any sort of offensive line, any sort of run game, any sort of defense. So happy for Matt Stafford that he's finally on a good team that takes care of him. And he's honestly, like he was supposed to kind of be like the old quarterback that's like getting, not playing as well, but the team around him is really good. But it's actually it's like, no, he's still playing good. He's still playing really good football, really smart football. The stats last week when he played the Seahawks, they won 21-19, so close game, and a division game too. That was a big one. But I think I don't think he had more than 200 passing yards, but a very, very clear 50 some yards and two touchdowns, but no, and hardly any incompletions and no interceptions is the big thing. So I mean, he's dialed in. He's playing good against a really good Seahawks defense. So this week against the Buccaneers, he's going to play against a solid, I would say, really solid, stellar defense. I mean, it's the NFL, so there's pros everywhere on every defense, but Buccaneers have a lot of veterans. You got Levante David is basically like the Matthew Stafford of linebackers right now. He's like a million years old, and he's still like leading the team in tackles and forced fumbles. Like he's still out there, and he's been hurt like a week or two. So, yeah, it'll be a good little matchup between the Mike linebacker Levante and QB Matt Stafford. So going to be a good one. Buccaneers, like you mentioned, last 2 weeks dropping two games. But again, it's the NFL, and the two games that they dropped were against currently the team with the best record in the NFL. I believe the Patriots are 9-2 now. And then the Bills, who are still the Bills, like it was Josh Allen, and Josh Allen just had a day. So hard to beat both of those teams right now. And like you said, they kept it close in both. So the Buccaneers are still a good team. But what gets me in this game is the Buccaneers. Now, I don't think home games necessarily matter like they do in college, but I think what does matter is when you're traveling from Tampa, Florida to LA. And so I think that'll be the only thing that kind of catches the Bucks a little bit, which I'm sure they're all professionals and they know how to take care of their bodies. But at the end of the day, you can't deny you're better off staying at home. And if you're going from Florida to LA, it's like the LA team is going to have just a slight advantage because I mean, it's not like no matter who you are, traveling across the country like that is not an easy thing to do. So, um, I think the Rams win this one. A Sunday night football game in prime time. So never count out Baker. But um, yeah, and I think just with the Buccaneers kind of still being banged up and stuff, the Rams are still relatively clean when it comes to injuries. So I think the Rams win this one, but that's my 2 cents on this game. What do you think, Cezanne?
Well, love everything you had to say about it. So let me go ahead and start with the Rams. Matthew Stafford. Just incredible what he's doing at his age. He's been doing this for the last few seasons, as you said. He's still playing at the high caliber level that he's been playing at for several years now, including back with the Lions and whatnot. But just the fact that he has maintained that consistency this entire time, from running around for his life playing for the Detroit Lions once upon a time to now after winning a Super Bowl and making the playoffs each and every season with the Rams, like things he never used to do, in the early parts of his career. It's just really good to see that for him. I think everyone's really happy for Matthew. Like you said, like he's probably one of the more deserving. Just he went through the fire. He went through the fire for a dumpster of a team for years and years on end, and he never complained. He didn't quit. He just kept showing up each and every day and just kept taking hits. And now finally seeing that he's having success, yeah, he definitely deserves it. So everyone's happy. He's one of the more feel good stories of the NFL for sure. So the Rams are excelling. The NFC West is just like as competitive as could be. One of the best divisions in football this season. Uh, the Rams, the Seahawks, and the 49ers all would be making the playoffs right now, I believe, if the season ended today. So just shout out to them and everything they're doing over there. On the other side, Tampa Bay, coming off two tough losses, like you said, they're playing very well right now. And it's not like, you know, it might be the defense. It might be the defense because they are giving up a lot of points, but they did play two very good teams, the Patriots and the Bills, who both will be making the playoffs at this point, it seems like. So, three tough games in a row. It looks like this is probably like the tough part of Tampa Bay's schedule. It seems like, having these games in a row now. But Baker Mayfield is still playing very well. They're still really injured. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are still both banged up. Bucky Irving is still banged up, so they're still missing guys like that. But the emergence of Emeka Ibuka has just saved them. It saved their season because, you know, aside from everybody else who's playing well around them, Emeka Ibuka has taken this team to a level that they weren't even at before. Like before, they were a very solid team, but Tampa Bay has, for the last few years, even including the Brady years, they've been that team that they're not really explosive like that. They'll hit a play here and there, but they're more of the we're going to grind it out. Like we're going to run the ball, we're going to throw it across the middle. We're going to get first down after first down after first down. We're going to play good defense. That's how Tampa Bay has kind of made their money in the past few years. Every now and then they would go over the top, but other than that, they weren't like a flashy, explosive type team like the Bills or the Chiefs were. Well, all of a sudden, Emeka Ibuka's got them in flash. Like they're scoring 70-yard touchdowns every week. He's taking a slant and taking it 80 yards down the sideline. Like we did not see that with Brady or with Baker before Emeka Ibuka. Now all of a sudden, because I think it's because the older guys. Mike Evans. He's not the same kind of player that he was when he was like 24. He's not going to go 80 yards down the sideline like he used to. Every now and then he'll hit one, but he's getting old. You can kind of see it. Chris Godwin also getting up there in age. They're both over 30 years old, I think. So, having a new, a fresh pair of legs coming fresh out of college, I think it's kind of taking this Tampa Bay offense even up a level than they were before. So, to the point where I'm saying like now they're a force to be reckoned with. Like I don't want to see Tampa Bay in the playoffs if I'm in the NFC. Like if I'm the Packers or the Lions or the Bears or the 49ers or whoever, like I don't want to see Tampa Bay in the playoffs because that's not a game you're just gonna win. Like you're gonna scratch and claw and you're gonna come out of that game bloodied and bruised because Tampa Bay done put 40 on your head. So you're gonna have to win that game 43-40. Like they're not playing around with you. So I like what both of these teams are doing so far this season. In this game, give me the Bucks. I don't see the Bucks losing 3 games in a row, even though they were all against very good teams. I don't see the Tampa Bay dropping another game because three in a row is too bad for a team that's this good. You can't lose 3 games in a row when you're this good of a team. So I think Tampa Bay is going to find a way to bounce back, and they're going to find a way to pull this one out, even against the Rams, who are playing very well right now. But the Rams are probably maybe overachieving a little bit. Especially with the Seahawks and the 49ers just right behind them. So they might be due for a loss over there, but it could go either way for sure. I definitely expect this to be a high scorer, that's for sure. One thing I wanted to say about Matthew Stafford is that I was looking through the QB stats the other day, just kind of scrolling. Matthew Stafford has like 27 touchdowns and 2 picks on the year. That's crazy. I'm looking at other guys, Patrick Mahomes and guys like that. They got 12 touchdowns, 9 picks, 10 touchdowns, 8 picks, 15 touchdowns, 7 picks. None of them are even on Matthew Stafford's level right now. Like he is just balling. I think second place is Drake May with like 21 touchdowns or whatever, and he has like 8 picks or whatever. So Matthew Stafford is on a whole different level right now. That's why I say he's balling out of his mind because he's like 40 years old. He's right up there with Aaron Rodgers. Like this is crazy. This is wild. So he's earning every penny over there. And just great to see it. But this should be one of the best matchups of the weekend. Sunday night football, prime time. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, and just to add a little tidbit, I was looking at the Rams schedule, and the Rams' only 2 losses was a 33-26 loss to the Eagles and a 26-23 overtime loss to the 49ers. And like you said, 49ers are 7-4, and the Seahawks are just ahead of them, but that's because they're 7-3 right now. So Niners have one more loss technically, but yeah, NFC West is stacked, and the Rams are in control. I mean, they've they've beaten everybody else in the division. They beat the 49ers again the second time they played them, and then they just beat the Seahawks. So, yeah, I mean, Rams are holding their own in a really tough division. So, I think that's also very impressive for being, just in a tough conference or division, excuse me, not, and this isn't college, tough division.